What's up, everybody? This is Dallas Stone here, and today we're going to be talking about using technology to help you improve as an artist. Just my perspective here on utilizing technology. So, first and foremost, the phone camera, right? At this point, everyone has a phone camera. And if you have a good one, or even a decent one, you can do a lot of things with it, like capturing reference for your textures, inspiration when you go on a trip or something like that, right? So for me, the phone camera is a big tool that I hope that lots of new artists are using. I used to have an SLR. I actually still have it. It's old now. It's probably a decade old, and to be honest with you, it's bulky, right? And my phone that I have right now, which is a Samsung Note 8, takes superb photos, especially in daytime. So so now I don't really have to carry anything bulky with me anymore. I just take photos with me on the go. The next thing I want to bring up is note taking apps. So a lot of people might know this from just over the years of watching me. I take a lot of notes, and for me, my go-to used to be Evernote and Google Keep, or Keep Google, whatever you want to call it. But I've recently switched over to a software called Notion, and again, not sponsored by Notion at all. But it just does amazing things. You can writing down your ideas, helping you organize your thoughts into different notebooks. What's really awesome about these note-taking apps nowadays is you can just take a photo of the whiteboard or something. If you had a meeting in like a meeting room and you wrote a lot of stuff on the whiteboard, just take a snapshot of that, upload it up to your note-taking app. And I really like lots of note-taking apps nowadays. They're very advanced in the fact that a lot of them are cloud-based. You can access them through your phone. Just all multiple different types of applications and devices. So note-taking apps really handy, and hopefully as artists, even though you're just an artist, it's really good to kind of keep your thoughts and notes all in one place. E-readers and audiobooks. So this again isn't for everybody, and for me it took some time for me to actually get sold on this idea, but now I have Amazon Kindle, and it has a lot of my art books. I used to collect art books, like physical ones, and it was taking up so much space. And once you have a small family, and you just run out of space, and it's just so handy. Go on a trip somewhere, and you just want to get inspired, and you just look at art books, or comic books, or reading a good book. Just reading on the go is just so handy. So Amazon Kindle, I use mine on the Android on my phone. For audiobooks, I use Audible, which I believe is an Amazon product as well. And I have a few books that I love to always read, and so every year while I'm driving to work, I'll just link it to my Bluetooth, and I'll just listen to my favorite audiobooks while I'm driving to work. So e-readers, audiobooks, really handy tools to have. Social media, and this is obviously going to be controversial because not everybody likes social media, but I love social media for the fact that I can follow artists that I aspire to be. I have that way to connect with other artists. Like if I have a question with another creator or artist, I can just DM them through Twitter. And the beauty about social media is you can share your artwork, right? And it's an easy way to share your artwork and get feedback and get eyes on it. So personally, I use two. I use ArtStation and Twitter. All right, so the next one is going to be scheduling. So for me, I use my calendar a lot. I use Google Calendar, which is just my default on my phone. Again, mostly because I love the accessibility. Because I have my phone on me essentially almost all the time. Again, controversial. A lot of people might not like that, but I have my phone on me often. So that means I get calendars, I get reminders, I get to-do lists, like quick to-do lists. And it just keeps me organized because I know what my deadlines are. It keeps my day organized, keeps my week organized, keeps my month organized. So I use Google Calendar mostly for a lot of personal stuff. Lately, I've switched over. Again, not sponsored by Notion. I've switched over to Notion, which also has a calendar, and I use that for like personal stuff, like my YouTube, my art projects, and stuff like that. What's really cool about Notion is that there's a Kanban project management style, so you can kind of put things into a to-do list or in production, pre-pro, finished, and then you can put that into a calendar, and then the calendar kind of shows you where you are on the schedule, and it's really neat, really cool. Again, highly suggest you just taking a look at that. Again, I will post up all the links of the software and stuff like that I do use in the description of this video. So phone timer, so I use that a lot as well. Sometimes you just need a 20-30 minute nap, and for me, again, being a family guy, working full-time, doing the YouTube thing on the side, sometimes you're tired, right? And you need to take the 20-30 minute nap, or sometimes you need to set 30 minutes to just sit down and focus on your work. And that's what I've been doing a lot lately at home, is I'm forcing myself to do 30 minutes and building a habit, 30 minutes every single day working on my art, no matter what, right? And obviously there's going to be days where you're going to fail, right? But you need to try and push yourself. So for me now, before I do anything fun and like playing games or hanging out with friends or something like that, I always schedule in 30 minutes of art. And it's nice to have that, again, close to you, on your phone. So phone timer, really underrated. How can you not mention technology if you don't mention the internet, right? So let me just explain to you how I use the internet, trying to use the internet as a productive thing. So ArtStation, first thing I want to mention is ArtStation, right? That's kind of like the standard now for our industry as artists, is if you want a job in this industry, you need to have an ArtStation, right? So ArtStation, of course, obviously to look and get inspired by other artists and seeing what other artists are doing. Your portfolio should be your ArtStation, or should be on your ArtStation at least. So yeah, ArtStation, you need to have ArtStation at this point, 2019. So I'm just gonna put a date there in case something else pops up in 2025 or something like that. It's better. 80.lv or 80 level, awesome website for industry artists sharing their workflows and sharing their knowledge. This is my favorite website when it comes to learning what others in the industry are doing, and like what's upcoming or what's the biggest news when it comes to art. So 80.lv. Lately I've really enjoyed Flip Normals, and that's a YouTube channel. They've been doing amazing work. In my opinion, I should aspire to be as good as them when it comes to their YouTube channel and what they're sharing, because they're sharing some pretty awesome stuff, and hopefully one day I can even reach to their level with the stuff that they're sharing. So Flip Normals, again, I'll link that into the YouTube channel, or sorry, in the description of the video. Twitch .tv, this is a live streaming website, and essentially it's just artists live streaming themselves working on their art, and sometimes there's some amazing artists doing that. My favorites, I'm gonna give them some shout outs right now. Dynasty from Massive Games in Sweden. He's currently working on Division 2 right now, and his personal project, I believe, is like a temple still, and it looks absolutely amazing. So yeah, great guy, great Twitch. Another one I want to plug is a coworker of mine, Sir Digital Bacon, amazing artist. He's a really good artist. Him and I are both on the same team right now, and it's just really inspiring to see him push himself every single day. He's in work, he's pushing himself at work, and then he goes home and spends hours with his community that he's been building over on Twitch. So giving those two guys a shout out. What I love about the internet, obviously, is the ability again to follow artists you inspire to be, follow industry trends, keep up with the studios and what they're doing. Right. So, quick note. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is collaborative cloud-based development software. So that's a handful, so or a mouthful, sorry. So for me, I love things like Google Docs, Google Sheets, because it allows you to keep your documentation updated and accessible for multiple team members. So not only that, like they can contribute the same amount as you do or at the same time as you do, which is really really cool, and why I love Google Docs and Google Sheets and the Google Drive, just in general, right? It's the ability that you can do that. Obviously, there's other software that you can do that as well. I just like Google Drive because it's free, and until further notice, until I need to upgrade or whatever it may be, then I'll look into other options to see if it's worth it, or do I just pay the monthly or yearly fees when I do hit my limit. I've been using it for so long and I haven't even touched it. Or sorry, I haven't even had to upgrade. That's the best thing about Google Docs is if you share a document with someone on your team. For me, I share a lot of documents with my wife. You both can work on it at the same time, and it actually shows you who's editing the document with you at that time. You can actually see it almost live when they're typing things out. So that's really really cool. So yeah, so the Google Drive suite is pretty awesome. Version control software. I love Dropbox, and I've been using Dropbox for, I'd have to say, probably over a decade now, if they've been around for that long. It's at least close to a decade. I've been using it for, let's just be safe here, for at least 5 years plus. I am now a subscriber, so I do have a subscription with Dropbox because I needed the space for all my personal projects. I literally put it in the Dropbox. Anything art related is in my Dropbox. This allows me to work on things pretty much anywhere again. So if I need to download a file that I've been working on, I can do that on my laptop. If I'm traveling, or if I need to look at something at work, then I can, right? So Dropbox is really awesome, and one of the key features that I love about Dropbox is the version control. Let's say I worked on my pistol and I open it up and I'm like, you know what? I've been working on this for an hour now. I don't like this. And I've saved a bunch already, right? I can go back to the version the day before, right? And that's so useful. That's so handy to have. So, and again, Dropbox is like anything else, right? You can collaborate and use it with your team members, and they can sync up to the latest files. They can, do all the great things that version control offers. Next thing is going to be PureRef. So I use PureRef for reference boards, style guides. It essentially helps me keep my ideas and my ideas organized visually, right? So PureRef, an amazing reference software. I don't know if I've shown it on stream or on my videos before, but it's my go-to, and my team at work uses PureRef quite a bit. Again, not sponsored by PureRef, but definitely going to give them a shout out because it's a free software and it's absolutely amazing. Last but not least, and again, this is kind of up to you and how you want to do things. I use a program called GreenShot for my screenshots, for notes. Again, right? So what I love about GreenShot is that you can annotate things, you can leave comments, you can put notes on things, and I use this a lot, especially when I'm doing reviews, right? When I'm reviewing another artist's work, I can, put an arrow and be like, hey, so over here, this is looking faceted, add more geo here, or add more divisions here. And then I have a little box with text in it, and then I have a little arrow that points to it, and then, or let's say I'm doing a guide, right, for myself, or I'm writing notes about something inside of software. I can number things. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that way, in my notes, I can say, hey, so this is, so number 1, go to file. Number 2, go find this, and so it's just really awesome. GreenShot is my go-to screenshot and note-taking software when it comes to taking a screenshot of what you see on your screen and then writing notes and reviewing all that stuff. So again, I'm gonna put all of this software into the description of this video. Hopefully this helps you out, and hopefully you are not afraid of using technology to help you move forward as an artist. And this is just how I like to use technology as an artist. If you have some really cool ideas and on what you're doing and how you're using technology to improve yourself as an artist, please share all that stuff down below in the comment section. If you like the video, give it a like, and if you like what you're seeing, subscribe to the channel. Stay awesome.